Hello, I'm Mikko. In this video I will show you how to install and set up DCM for trial. Installing DCM requires a system administrator, the admin role, in the target instance, and a ServiceNow ID connected to your instances to get things started in the ServiceNow Store. The setup includes 4 steps: starting the trial from the store, installing the application to your non-production instance, completing the guided setup for trial after the initial installation is completed, and testing the app to make sure that everything works and you're ready to start the trial. For production instances, we recommend going through all the steps in the guided setup, while in this video we only cover the mandatory steps. In total, the installation and setup takes about 30 minutes, so let's get started. First, we go to the ServiceNow Store at store.servicenow.com. You can search for DCM and pick the Data Content Manager application, or use the short link shown on the screen. On the DCM app page, click Try to start the trial. After this screen, you need to approve the terms and conditions for the trial and set up entitlements for your ServiceNow instances. Then we can move on to the next step. Once the entitlements are set up, you should be able to find DCM under the All System Applications. It can take a while for this list to load, but when you search with DCM after the list is fully loaded, you should find the app, and then you can click Install to start the installation. You don't need to select Demo Data, just click Install. And this installation will take something between 5 to 10 minutes, so you can just relax. And once the installation is complete, we continue to the guided setup. That's part of the DCM application. After the installation has completed, you might need to refresh your browser window, and then you should be able to find DCM from the navigation menu. You probably want to add it as your favorite, and then we can scroll down and find the guided setup under the basic setup. On this introduction page, we have a short video about DCM, and at the bottom some useful links to the Data Content Manager homepage and our new Learning Center, for example. To start the guided setup, click Get Started, and this will take you to the task list. So here we have 4 different sections. The first one about basic setup is basically the only mandatory thing we need to do. The rest are more or less optional, but for a trial you probably want to look at some of the add-ons and install the CSDM content pack as well. So we will look at those. In the basic setup, the steps marked with an asterisk are mandatory, and the rest we can skip during trial. So let's get started with the basic setup. And here you see 9 different tasks where entering the license key and setting up the cross-scope privileges are absolutely mandatory. And then depending on your own role, or if the person kind of doing the trial has an admin role, then you don't need to set up any roles. But if you have different people without the admin role participating in the trial, then you need to set up the roles as well. If you're not familiar with the guided setups in general, the idea is that here is a one task. So on the top you have the task name, some actions to skip and add nodes, and on the right hand side we have the configure button, and that will always take you to a place where you need to do something. And then with the mark as complete, you can keep track of your actions here. One useful thing to do is to open this help panel and pin it to the left or to the right when you're working with a guided setup, so that you will have it there all the time, and it allows you to easily navigate back to the guided setup from the different places. So entering the license key is required also for a trial. You can request the keys from the DCM support, and in order to change the properties, you need to make sure that the DCM application is selected as the scope. You can do it here by clicking here, and then you can copy paste the copy paste the license key and the password to these two system properties. The license key is a very long encrypted string, and then the password is a bit shorter, like a normal password. Do not send the license report from the trial. We only want it from a production environment. Now the license key has been set, and on the right hand side we have this help panel where we can go back to guided setup. And once we're back here, we can mark this step as complete. And then we can scroll all the way down to the task 5, cross-code privileges. And here we have 5 steps in this one task. So we first download a script from the DCM knowledge base, then import it as an update set, preview and commit. And once the script is available, we run it for the available classes and available relationships. So on this knowledge base, you can click download update set and save the file to your preferred location. Then we can already go back to the guided setup, mark this step as complete, then go to import and select the file you just downloaded. Click upload, and when you see the file name disappear, then the import is complete and you can go back to the guided setup. Import script is complete. Then we go to preview and commit. So open the update set, then run the preview, and then remember to commit. And then we can go back to guided setup. And now we will use the script to create cross-code privileges. And the available classes list will define which tables are included in the Blueprint Designer. So if I open the CMDB classes, for example, we see the selection type is selected tables. It also includes the inherited tables. And below we have a list of tables to include into this CMDB classes setup. So including the CMDB_CI table will basically cover the whole CMDB, including all the out-of-the-box classes and your custom CI classes as well. After committing that update set, we have this setup scope access for DCM. So let's run that for the CMDB classes. And since there is so many tables in the CMDB, this step actually takes a while, maybe 2 minutes, and then the rest will be a bit faster, and we can actually run this script for the rest of the available classes at once. And if you find out in Blueprint Designer that some tables or classes are missing, then this is the place to include them. Now we're done with this available classes part, and then we do the same for available relationships. The available relationships basically define which tables are often used as many-to-many relationships on the data models. So most of these definitions rely on the naming standards, but then under the platform default rels, we have handpicked some of the common relationship tables. And now we can mark this step as completed. That's all you need to do if you're doing the trial with an admin account. But if you have some non-admin users participating, then we need to define the roles. And probably the easiest way to set up the roles for a trial is to create one new group. Let's call it a DCM trial, and then add the DCM admin role to this group. That will give the trial participants all access to DCM, and they can change the settings, create blueprints, run audits, play with the content planner, and create tasks if they want to. So that's it. For a production setup, you can find more information about the roles from our knowledge base. Alright, we've now done the minimum setup, the minimum basic setup, and the application is now available and working properly. The data domains and tiers are used for reporting and governance. If you install the CSDM content pack, you get some valid demo data regarding the domains and tiers. The content pack can be found here under the add-ons. We do recommend installing the add-ons during the trial, so you know what is available and how it works, and then you can decide whether to install them into production as well. So let's check the CSDM content pack first. So that add-on or content pack is installed from the ServiceNow Store. So if you click configure here, it will take you to the ServiceNow Store. And since this is a free application, it only includes some blueprint templates, so you can get it for free. So click get here, and then you can set up the entitlements. After getting the content pack from the store, you can go back to the system applications list. After it stops loading, you should be able to find the CSDM content pack by searching with DCM. To install the content pack, you need to just click install and wait for it to complete, and that's it. Okay, and then we can go back to the guided setup. Okay, this content pack installation is complete. And then for the rest of the add-ons, we follow the same procedure as with the cross-scope privilege creation. So you go to the knowledge base and download an update set, then import it, run preview and commit. And depending on the add-on, you might need to create a blueprint or something else to verify the add-on is working properly. So let's do this first one. So let's click configure to download the add-on. Then we can mark that as complete. You can of course download them all first and then import and commit them all at once. I just do it for this one add-on, and then the rest will be done in the same way. Okay, and for example, with this add-on, you would need to go and create a blueprint to kind of verify that it works, but we will skip this step for now. Then you can move on to the other add-ons and do the same. Last step here is to review blueprint templates, but you don't need to do that for the trial. Now we have completed the guided setup for the DCM trial, and we can go ahead and test the application, make sure that it works. So we should have DCM in our favorites. Let's open the Blueprint Designer. If you install the CSDM content pack, you should have some templates available. So we can pick the crawl phase template for business applications and then click create. You can skip the tour for now. And basically, if you get this far, it basically means that the installation was successful and the application is working properly. Okay, the setup is now complete and you're ready to start the trial. Thank you for choosing DCM. If you have any questions regarding the product or the trial, feel free to contact our support. Or if you want to see the latest DCM demo, you can book a session through our demo booking calendar. So that's all this time. Bye bye.